Once you have a label, it's hard to shed that label. And I think this whole, you know, I don't even really want to call it a run. It's just 2 series, but in those 2 series, he showed that he's willing to adapt. He's willing to change. He's willing to, do different things that he's used to. And obviously, that's a willingness on his end, the trust and belief in his players. So I just think, everyone gives them a label, and they just run with that label since, for the last 10, 15 years. But I think the last 2 series showed his ability to adapt and change when necessary.
Josh, is this series about revenge, or is it just another year, another series?
Another year, another series. Y'all can write whatever y'all want. They're gonna, make it into a revenge thing or something like that. But, half the team didn't play last year. They were hurt. Jude, Dante, they're not here anymore. Zay's not here anymore. You got Kel, OG was hurt. It's a totally different team, totally different situation, totally different round of the playoffs. So we just got to make sure we're ready. That's an extremely talented team whose offense is clicking at all cylinders right now. So nothing about revenge or anything. It's just about next series.
Yeah, Josh, they kind of trolled you guys a little when they won that series. Haliburton wore the Reggie Miller sweatshirt. There was a choke sign. I think Turner went outside and trolled your fans. Did that series, did that bother you? How they reacted? And did it bother? How long did that playoff loss sit with you?
Did it bother me? I mean, at the end of the day, if you win, you can really just kind of do what you want. I think everybody's different. Everybody embraces being in that spotlight differently. So if that's how they want to do it, cool. But for me, I don't know. Obviously, it was a tough series for us physically, especially at Game 7. I was hurt and couldn't play how I wanted to. So it's helped me for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I knew I gave everything I possibly could have given. So
I think it was Game 2 in Boston. You guys been behind the whole way. Jalen was having a really bad shooting night, and he scores in the 4th quarter. And right away, Reggie Miller says, you got to be concerned for yourself. Thinks here comes the best clutch player in the NBA. And it kind of felt like Tiger Woods' prime. Like you could be way back in the back 9. And you still got to watch because. Would you believe if he wasn't your teammate that there's an NBA guy who could suddenly swing a game like that when it just seemed like it's not happening today?
I don't know. There's obviously a lot of talented guys in the league, especially in that 4th quarter. Guys like Shea and Jokic and all that. But I think his ability to rise to the occasion, his ability to want the ball, to make the proper play in late game situations is unmatched. So he's one of the guys like, okay, if we get, even if we're down, if we're a couple possession game, towards the end of the 4th quarter, we feel extremely confident because we got guys that's going to make plays defensively, and then he's going to make the proper play offensively, whether that's scoring or, drawing to, getting guys open shots or those kind of things. So, I think, Reggie was right on that. I think he's the most clutch player in the NBA right now, and, we're happy he's on our team.
What's the challenge of getting off an emotional high and now getting ready for this next series? What's that challenge like for you?
Not really a challenge. If y'all have heard me say it all year. Everything was about beating the Boston Celtics. They were this, they were that, and it was always just, being who we are and being the best team we can be. Because then you get, when you're so focused on beating Boston or beating a certain opponent, when you do beat them, then it's, you're on top. You feel like you're on top of a mountain, and now you have to try to figure out what to do next. For us, it never was that. It was always next game, next series, be the best team we can be at the end of the season. So when you have that mentality, you're not really focused on one opponent or being, on top of the world, in wins and in valleys and losses. So I don't think it would be a challenge. Obviously, they're an extremely talented team, and that would be a challenge. But I don't think the situation of beating Boston and it's going to be a challenge.
Jalen and Tyrese matchup. You guys played in the second round last year, then they're ranked in the WWE ring, and now they meet again with a chance to go to the NBA Finals. Just what do you think of that matchup and everything that's involved?
Yeah, WWE wrote a great script, so there's going to be a lot of guys that's going to be trying to get on WWE this summer. But no, I mean they're two of the best point guards, not just in the East, but in the league, and it's going to be fun. They both have two different playing styles. Obviously, JB scoring guy, more of a scoring guard. Tyrese, runs that offense, gets guys involved, pushes the pace, those kind of things. So there's going to be back and forth matchup, chess game, but both guys are extremely talented. Is he just playing with the damn door? And look forward to that.
How do they combat they got 11 guys that they go to? We know you guys go 7.
Yeah, I mean we just gotta trust in each other, communicate at a high level. When guys are tired, ask for a sub, and just trust everybody.
A couple of guys in the postseason, the numbers have been stronger than the regular season. Do you see, based on what you're seeing on the floor, on tape, has the defense been better?
I think so. I think when it's playoff time, you want to do everything it takes to win, and I think you saw that, in all over the place the last couple of series. Obviously, that one huge mixed possession that he kind of rotated everyone. He rotated to one guy, someone already stepped up for him, and it was just a domino effect. So everybody wants to win, and we're locked in on that. We're communicating at a higher level, and I think the last two games of the Boston series, without Tatum, they were moving the ball a little bit faster. They were running quicker. It forced us to communicate at a higher level. And I think that's something that can help us, going into this series with Indiana.
You talked about Tibbs adapting in the playoffs. What were some of the ways you did see him, adapt and change his ways a little bit?
Obviously, the Houston was the switching part. I think one of the games we came out and were very soft on our switches, and people thought we changed our coverage, and we didn't change it. We were just terrible at executing it at the players. That's one. I don't want to say too many more, but we got to show some of our cards. But his just ability to, switching, and obviously, some of the start of the quarters, put the ball in Mikel's hands as he's going, or when guys are hot, leave them in, or making those tough decisions on rotation. So, like I said, you got to give him a lot of credit because he's given us a great game plan, making sure we're prepared. And, he just deserves a lot of